Morning, folks. Welcome to the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. Cassandra Terry, the mindset coach and founder of Manifesting Miracle Makers, rounded up her LinkedIn family once again. First, we've got Brian Smart, Mr. Content and Dadpreneur. He's striking the perfect balance between raising his youngest daughter and creating masterful content. Next, meet Denise Annalise Spiller, the gig expert and relentless traveler and writer. She turns every gig into an adventure. Then there's Jay Pasquale, the storytelling strategist, a poet and voiceover artist. He's weaving tales that'll make you think, laugh, and maybe even change your perspective. Get ready for a show filled with wisdom, inspiration, and the magic of family. Let's welcome Cassandra Terry and the rest of the fam.
Hello. Welcome to the midweek. Welcome to Hump Day, Wake Up Wednesday. When probably more than any day of the week, at least I need that reminder to wake up, get my energy reset, get focused, plug in, be intentional about what I'm saying, what I'm doing, how I'm showing up. Those things are so important, and they're things that are within our control. So I could spend some time thinking and talking about being tired, all the stuff I've already done this week. But I was thinking in my mind as the music was playing, I'm so excited to say, and I'll tell you what I'm going to say later. But I'm so excited to share something with you. And just thinking the words, I'm so excited, raised my energy level. It made me sit a little taller. It kind of changed how I was feeling in that moment. Because truth of the matter is, it's like, okay, here we go. I just said to the guys, I need to go outside and run around the block, get the endorphins going, make myself get the energy level up. But without doing any of that, just thinking the words, I'm so excited. And I started to feel the energy level go up anyway, without the exertion that I know will help. I know when I do something physical that's going to help bring it up. But I wasn't even thinking in the moment. I wasn't thinking it to have a particular effect. I was just thinking about what I was about to say. And then thinking that just thinking the words, I'm so excited, it made a difference. Oh, yeah, Kim, I'm teasing you. And that's the perfect word. Just a little teaser. I have something I want to share, but it can wait. We're going to let it percolate a little bit. So, welcome, Kim. Welcome, Sean Michael. I'm glad to have you guys with us. Today is a wonderful day. It's a great day to be alive. I really prefer that over the alternative. So, since I've been afforded the gift of life, I am going to make the most out of this day. Is it because everything's perfect? Is it because things are all going my way? No, it's because I've purposed it in my mind. I have decided that despite what's going on externally, despite what's happening in the world, despite any energy that comes my way, I am going to have a good day. If I can decide that for me, you can decide the same thing for yourself. In the midst of your trials, in the midst of your difficulties, in the midst of what's ever going on, you can be intentional about what your experience is going to be. And that's what Wake Up Wednesday is all about you realizing the power that you have, tapping into that power, taking it back. We give our power away so freely. We give it away to circumstances. We give it away to the opinions of others. We just give it away. And in giving that power away, we are at the mercy of all of those things. Those things around us decide what kind of day we're going to have, what our experiences are going to be like, how our life is for us. It's what we believe it to be. I could be as wrong as two left shoes, right? Everything in my world could just be topsy turvy. But if in my mind, I believe that all is well, then by default, all is well. So we have a lot of power. And that's what we like to remind ourselves and remind you guys of on Wake Up Wednesday. So let me share the quote. Kim said, "You're killing me." I love the anticipation, Kim. All right. So the quote is so long, I had to break it up into two pieces. Your days are your life in miniature. As you live your hours, so you create your years. As you live your days, so you create your life. What you do today is actually creating your future. The words you speak, the thoughts you think, the actions you take are all shaping your destiny. Robin Sharma. How powerful of a quote is that? Your days are your life in miniature. So, what you pour into every day, what you pour into every hour, how intentional you are in how you spend that time and what you do with your time is not just whether or not you're wasting a few minutes in this moment, but it's creating what's to come. So, if you want things to change, you simply change how you're thinking and what you're doing. And in doing so, just like for me, you change how you're feeling. That changes how you're behaving. And that creates for you a future that's more like what it is that you'd like to have. If you want what you have today, keep doing what you're doing today. Nothing's going to change. You're creating tomorrow, next week, next year by your actions today. It's all intertwined. So if you want your tomorrow to be different from your today, you have to get real honest with yourself. Have a conversation with the person in the mirror. What am I willing to do today differently than what I've done all the days leading up to today? What additional action am I willing to take? What bad habit, what negative emotions, what self limiting beliefs, what are the things that I'm going to prune away? Be intentional about it. What are the things that I'm going to learn? What are the things that I will do differently? How am I going to prepare? As I'm being paced and I'm waiting for things to change, what's my attitude in this season? Am I taking advantage of the time that I have to create the future that I desire? You don't have to answer those questions for anybody, but it's important that you answer them for yourself because in answering those questions for yourself, you see the opportunity to have the shift, to make the different choices, to create the different existence. But if you're doing the same thing day in and day out, expect the same results in your control. If you would just do one thing different and do it well, give it your all for the week, and then keep going. You master that thing. Okay. I'm saying my gratitude every morning. Y'all, I can't even wake up without thinking, what are the three things that I'm grateful for? It's literally the first thought I have in the morning. I can't help it. I've done it so much now that it's my default. It has become the thoughts that that come when I wake up. I could wake up thinking all kinds of stuff that's not going to propel me out of bed. That's not going to get me in the right mind space. That's not going to get me going. But a while back, I made a decision. Give it a shot. Give yourself a shot. Change your thinking so that you start your day full of life, full of hope, full of possibilities. To have that, you need to have gratitude. You need to be focused on the things that you have and the work at hand instead of the things that you don't. Abundance brings more abundance. Lack brings more lack. What are you focused on? Be very intentional about your thoughts. They can lift you up, they can shut you down. So they're just that important. So get to know you, get to know those thoughts, get intimate with what's going on inside of your head, and then take the necessary steps to adjust when you find things that are no longer serving you. I say it all the time. That's not a time to get frustrated. When you find something that's not working well, it's a time to get excited because now you have the opportunity to make an adjustment that's going to move you forward. As long as you were blind to that thing, you didn't realize that it was happening, you couldn't do anything about it. We can't fix what we don't realize is broken. And time again, we find that broken spot and we allow that to push us down even farther. I can't believe that this is how I think. I can't believe that I've wasted all this time. I can't believe dot, dot, dot. Instead, congratulations, girl, you figured it out. You figured out something that you can change. You figured out something that you can adjust so that you can show up better for yourself, for your family, for your life. You can make more out of your days. I was just listening to Stanley Green's room before this one, and somebody said that we're always talking about time management, but we can't actually manage time. Time is moving at the speed of time all the time. We can't manage that. It is what it is. But we can manage our focus. We can manage our intention. We can manage how we utilize that time. And that requires intention. That requires you to wake up and have a plan for your day. What are the two or three things that you're absolutely going to do today? You're committed to getting done. When you have that in your mind and you're committed to it, it changes how you move. It changes how you react to things. It changes how impactful the distractions are. They lose their appeal because they don't align with what it is that you've committed to accomplish, right? If you've got a plan and the things come along that don't align with that plan, you recognize it so much quicker. Distractions you don't always recognize them as distractions. The shiny new objects are exciting. They grab your attention. But when you evaluate them against what it is that you're trying to accomplish, then immediately you see them for what they are. This may be a good thing for another time. This may be a great idea for someone else, but it doesn't align with my goals. It doesn't align with where I'm going. It does not help me get from where I am to where it is I'm trying to go. So you can confidently say no to something that actually looks really good. One of the quotes, I can't remember who it is from. One of the things that was said is that being intentional is not about as much what we say yes to as it is the saying no to everything else. Once you say yes to a thing, by default, you're supposed to say no to the things that are not that thing that you've said yes to. But what we do is we keep piling on. All right, I'm going to do this. All right, I'll try to do that. Okay, let me help over here. Let me fix that thing. And before you know it, you've got a pile so high that you can't even see, can't find, can't remember what it was that you were trying to accomplish in the first place. And the pile is so high, you may not accomplish any of it because now you're overwhelmed. How am I going to do all of this? You're going to do all of it by deplating, taking things off the plate that do not serve your purpose, that do not move you towards your goals. Deplate, take them off, get rid of them. Respectfully decline because the request will never stop coming. We're good at what we do. People know who we are, they know what we're capable of. So, yes, the requests are going to come. But what's your plan? What are your goals? What are you intending to accomplish? Be very, very clear about that. And then what you pile on the plate are the things that are going to make that go from to do to done. When you've done it, now you're in a place to take on the next thing, but not before that. We're not multitaskers. We lie to ourselves all the time. Try to cook an egg, watch a TV show, and pay attention to the baby, a toddler. Try to do those three things. We think we're doing those three things all the time at the same time, but we're not. At any point in time, only one of those things actually have our attention. As soon as you start chasing that toddler, the egg starts to burn. You miss the punchline from the show that you're watching because the toddler has your attention. All three of those things are happening at the same time, but only one of them is truly going to have your attention. You get into that show, your kid's in the bathroom now playing in the toilet, and the egg is burning. You're focused on cooking. You don't know what's going on in the show, can't find the kid. You're only doing one thing at a time, but we fooled ourselves into thinking that we're multitaskers. When we multitask, when we attempt to multitask, we're dividing our attention, therefore, not pouring all of us into either of those activities, meaning none of them is getting what they actually deserve. in order for you to do it well. Just think about that. Multitasking is a fallacy. Those things are all happening, yes, but you're not tasking them all at the same time. It is not possible. It's not. Just because they're happening at the same time doesn't mean you're multitasking. Just mean you got a lot of stuff going on, and none of it is getting the attention that it deserves from you. So none of it is being done at the level that you're capable of doing it at. A focused parent is going to be a better parent than one that's running around doing 15 different things. You feel like all those things need to be done. You have to wash the clothes. You have to change the baby. You have to get some food on the table. Yes, all those things have to be done. But if you're not focused on any one of them at a particular time, none of them will be done well. You'll forget the clothes are in the laundry. And the next day you go open the dryer and it stinks because those wet clothes been there all night long. You're not multitasking. And it's okay. It's more than okay. It is the way that we're designed. Pour yourself, all of your resources, your time, your energy, your focus, pour it into whatever it is that you've committed to doing in that moment. And watch how well you do it. Watch how efficiently and effectively you do it. And now it's done, and you're capable of moving on to the next thing and doing that well. It's counterintuitive for the way we're raised, the way we're rewarded, the things that we hear all the time. But multitasking just means you're not giving your all to anything. And the things that are good enough to be on your task list deserve all of that energy. Otherwise, they shouldn't even be on the list. So, your days are your life in miniature. As you live your hours, so you create your years. As you live your days, so you craft your life. What you do today is actually creating your future. The words you speak, the thoughts you think, the actions you take are all shaping your destiny. Robin Sharma. I love that quote so much. I just had to take it, even though it was a long one that I needed to slice up because I thought it was so appropriate when we're talking about being intentional. So great for a Wake Up Wednesday to just remind us to focus in and to give our all to the task at hand. You've chosen that task. There's always lots of things that you could be doing. I'm saying grab the one that's the priority right now. Do it well and then rinse and repeat. Grab the next one. Do it well. Rinse and repeat. If you do that, you'll get through things quicker. You'll do them better. And your to-do list your to-done list is going to fill up quickly. You're knocking things off the to-do list. And by the end of the week, the end of the month, the end of the year, look how much you've accomplished. Look how far you've come from where it is that you were. And that's the goal, to keep moving forward. And that takes intentionality. You have to be intentional. You have to know where forward is. Sometimes it's not a straight line. Obstacles creep up. It's okay. We have to overcome that obstacle. I've got to deal with that for the moment. And then I can get right back on my path because I'm intentional. I have a clear direction. I know where I'm going. I know what I intend to do. And I'm committed to that. You can't stop a person with that mindset. You cannot. Obstacles are temporary. You realize that. And it's just something to work through until you get back on your path. But you're very clear about what that path is. And the things along the way that are not leading you towards that path, those distractions, you know how to deal with them. You can put the blinders on and go. You can stop and rework something when it requires, but you're very clear about how you evaluate those things because you know what it is you're trying to accomplish in the first place. Do yourself a favor. Have a couple things that you intend to accomplish today that are going to help you move towards your long-term goals, and do it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And you will create the future that you desire. So let's see, Michael. Welcome, Michael. Michael says, Happy Wednesday, everyone. Kim said, You're killing me. So she's reminding me that I do have an announcement just a little bit longer. We'll hear from Jay and Brian. Grace, I have not seen you in so long. Virtual hug. Grace said, "Good morning, Mindset Queen and the fam." That is so funny. So, Mindset Queen is something that Brian and I argue about quite a bit. We don't argue about a lot of things, but that's one of the things. He keeps saying that and he keeps writing it and stuff. And I'm like, no. So we literally just had this argument yesterday. And he's like, accept your crown, queen, accept your crown. And I'm like, no, that sounds so facetious. I don't even know what it sounds. But so it's hilarious that you said that today. And maybe not so much hilarious as it is fortuitous that you said that today, Grace, because that's a whole conversation that's going on right now. It's like, well, what do you want me to call you? Call me coach, call me a strategist, call me something, but queen. So I don't even know why you said that, Grace. You're gonna have to tell me later what made you say that, because that's an ongoing struggle, internal struggle of mine, and something that Brian has been pushing. So we've got lots of hearts and fire and thumbs up from Kim. So I think what I've said so far has resonated with her. And she said the stinky wash, LOL, happens more than I want to mention. Exactly. It does. Things like that happen because our attention gets diverted into so many different directions. I was having a conversation with Brian yesterday because we're working on this thing that I'm going to talk about later, and we were planning some stuff. And I kept trying to get to we would get to a question. I had the same question for 2 days. And we would get up to that point, and then we would start to talk about something else that needed to be done. And we it took 2 days to get the question answered fully in our minds and to move beyond it. And it was distractions. It was thinking about some other stuff. He was talking, and then I was like, "Ooh, I didn't set up our room for tomorrow." And I started looking for a quote in the middle of our meeting. So, shiny following the squirrels. It happens to the best of us. And when you do that, you prolong what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And so it's funny to see this stuff play out in real time, but it's real. This multitasking thing is a progress killer. It is a accuracy killer. You may get a bunch of stuff done, but it's only half done. It's not done near to your ability. So think about the stinky wash the next time you're trying to do 4 or 5 different things all at once. And Grace says, listen to him. He is right. Um, let's see. Kim says, I have to go to work at 9 a.m. So please try and announce before 9. So is that in about 20 minutes for you, Kim? So I think you're in a different time zone than me because it's only 7:39 here. I'm thinking it's 8:39 for you. Give me a thumbs up, let me know, and I'll keep an eye on the clock. In the meantime, Brian, if you're still there, we'd love to hear what you have to share, and then we'll go over to Jay. And if the clock ticks too close to 9, I'll jump in and make the announcement. Can you hear us?
Mindset Queen, do I have the floor?
Yes, sir, you do, sir.
I was thinking about what you said when you first started about being excited. And
Uh-huh.
I kept seeing this song in my mind. I always got a song for something.
Oh, Lord.
I'm so excited. I just can't hide it.
Just can't hide it.
I'm about to
I'm about
lose
to
my
lose
mind and I
control.
think
I
I
think I
like
like
it.
it.
Yeah, that was that whole vibe in the 80s, right? The colors,
Mm.
the the wristbands, like everybody was into exercising. It was
Yes.
all energetic and everybody was talking about losing weight. You remember Richard Simmons? Like that was the thing. Like it was just an
Oh, yeah.
upbeat time. It was always action. It was always movement. That was a time of awakening, right? When the country was, and the world, in fact,
Mhm.
was coming to this standpoint where they realized, hey, we got to start exercising if we want to live, right? We got to get out of this
Mhm.
drab depression state that we were in, during the Great Depression and during the Industrial Revolution. Like we got to leave that in the dark. We got to leave that over there, and we got to come into the light. And everybody was coming into the light, right? It was a wake up time. Jay says it all the time. Grand awakening, right? A
Mhm.
friend of mine, one of my mentors, he wrote a book, and while he was writing that book, we had an epiphany, and we called it share the awakening. So it wasn't a huge campaign. It was just something small that we got started for his local community and what the doctors were doing with his daughter and all of that. But when you think about awakening and you think about wake up, you typically think
Mhm.
about waking up in the morning, getting
Right.
your day started. But I like to think about it as something that is a little deeper, spiritually, mentally, right? The way that you feel about yourself is that awakening. The way when you start to see life for what it really is, it's an awakening, right? It's a
Mhm.
whole different thing. It's a whole different way of looking at life. And the quote for the day reminded me of one of the posts that I made on LinkedIn this morning about compounding content principle of value.
Mhm.
That quote is the epitome of what I posted, right? And I talk about it. I was talking about it uh, from a content standpoint, like a social media content, a business or informational content standpoint. But
Mhm.
content is every single thing that you do. Everything you do is content, right? The way
Mhm.
that you interact with yourself, the way that you
Yep.
interact with the people around you, the conversations you have with yourself, your actions, right? That you take after those conversations and those thoughts. All of that is content and it
Everything is
compounds.
content. Yep.
Everything is content, right? But the secret, and this is what most people never talk about, the reason I give away all of my content, the reason I can give you every single step of every single thing I've done in my life to be successful is because execution is the key. Most people aren't willing to execute because they've been told this facade of what execution isn't looking at what Cassandra's doing and saying, hey, I got to do what she's doing and I got to start where she's at. Cassandra's got 20, 30 years in the game, right? She's been building this up for a while. So what you need to do, if you want to execute, and execution is the only way to get this done, you have to start small. People are always talking about consistency and this, that, and the other. You need to start talking about scaling your goals to meet realistic accomplishments. Start small and gradually improve as you go, right? You're not going to get anywhere without executing. If you want something in this life, you're going to have to work for it. The good life that you want is given after you make the effort to get it. Start small. Start
Reminds
today.
me of Jay's Bible verse yesterday. You have to ask, you have to seek, you have to knock. It's not enough just to want something. There's action, implementation that's required on your part. And the universe,
Absolutely.
God will rise up and meet you and honor that effort and give you the tools, and the people will come. That's why they say when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. You've got to show yourself ready, right?
Hmm.
You have to show yourself ready. And how do you show yourself ready? You start to take action towards what it is that you want to accomplish, and watch the shift in the world around you. Watch how things start. It feels like, oh, I'm in the flow. You hear people talk about it, all say things all the time. I'm in the flow. I
I'm
know
in the
I'm doing the
zone.
right thing because it just seems like it's so easy, and people are showing up and the right folks are helping me. It's not just because you're blessed. You are, but you're also activating your faith and putting action behind it so that there's something to bless. Man, if it was just my
That's the
thoughts that were
reason you're
blessed, if it was
blessed.
just my hopes and my dreams and my thoughts that were blessed, I'd be a queen for real. I'd be walking around with a tiara on every day. But I have to do something. I have to put that into action and activate my faith so that there is something to continue to be blessed, so that I can continue to move towards what it is that I desire. Implementation is everything. Until then, it's just hopes and dreams and wishes. Children do that. Everybody hopes and dreams and wishes. But what separates the hope, the dreamers, the wishers from those who actually have is what you're talking about, that implementation. Doing something. What are you willing to do today that you didn't do yesterday? I asked that before. What steps are you willing to take towards the desires that you have for your own life? Don't expect the cosmos, the universe, God to just become your fairy godparent and just boom, with this little, and everything just magically appear. I would love that. I would. But it's not that simple. You have to get in the game. You have to be in it to win it. And if you're not doing the things that align with what you say you want, if you're not able to be committed to what it is that you say you want, who you are, then how are you expecting to get there? Don't get upset. Get honest. Take a hard look in the mirror and make the necessary adjustments, because everything that you want is right on the other side of your comfort zone. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Be intentional. Have that plan and implement. You have to go beyond planning and get into implementation. Sorry, Brian, I don't even know if you were finished, but you got me going. Soapbox set aside. Back to you. Did you have more that you wanted to say, Brian?
Hey, I'm listen. When you start getting into your zone, I step aside. I don't want to get ran over. You're in the zone, sis. I'm just listening and taking notes.
Oh gosh, you guys are the best. Conchita, she joined us. She said, "Wonderful Wednesday, everyone. Late today, but I made it. Celebrating Dr. Seuss week with my granddaughter at school. It's another amazing day." Sounds like you right on time for me. To me, you prioritized. You worked your plan. You intended to have that time with your granddaughter, and then you thought enough of us to squeeze us in as well. And for that, we say thank you and welcome. And I am sure your granddaughter is beaming to have had you with her today as you guys celebrate Dr. Seuss. And the other reason that you're right on time is I've been teasing, I don't know about anybody else, but I've been teasing Kim since the call started. I have an announcement, and I promised her I'd make it before she left for work in about 12 minutes. And the announcement is, I'm so excited. Y'all, I have been working in the background for quite some time. You guys have heard me. We started in the fourth quarter talking about Thor. You see the background behind me. And my book is done. It's getting published. It's going through a little bit of editing and stuff right now. I intend to upload it this evening, and it will be ready for, it will be released on March the 25th. We have the date, and it is Soar Beyond Limits, Unleashing the Power Within. And it lays out the entire framework that is the result of the life that I have lived, the things that I have overcome, the training that I've done, the experiences that I've had. I've boiled it all down into SOAR and the 4 Ps. It's written, the cover is beautiful. It's about 100 pages of information. It has an accompanying workbook. So if you're one of those people who doesn't like to write in your book, or you want something, it has a companion. And you're able to, as we go through and we get to reflective points or exercises, the work, you can also get the workbook and put that all in one place, build out all of your plans. There's so much content in there. There's so much. I may have trouble being called the queen, but I have no trouble saying that this work will be life-changing for anyone. Not just read it, because anybody can read it, but if you actually take the words off the page and pull something from this work and implement it into your life, you are on your way to the life that you desire. It was meant to give you actionable steps to do the things that you desire, to get the clarity to know what those things are, and then to move forward in confidence and knowing that you deserve it, knowing your value, being clear on who you are, and accomplishing the things that you want to get out of your life. It's written, it's on paper, it is ready to go, and you can have it in your hands after March the 25th. Soar Beyond Limits, Unleashing the Power Within. And just to remind you, SOAR, identifying your strengths, is the S. The O is overcoming limits, whether they're self-limiting beliefs, whether it's bad relationships, bad thinking, bad environment, identifying what's not working for you and pruning that out of your life. So O, overcoming limits. A, achieving goals. So there's a whole a lot of work on building out your roadmap of what your goals are and getting those accomplished. And our resilience. I don't want us to do it once and set it aside. I want us to change our lives by changing our thinking and putting everything together and creating those new defaults for yourself so that you show up differently for you every single day. And so I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your feedback. I can't wait to see it. I want to see your pictures with the book in your hand. And then I want you to give me some honest feedback. This is what I took away from it. This is how it helped me. Oh, I don't really understand that. We will talk about it. We will have the opportunity. So Kim, that's what has me so giddy this morning. We kind of put the bow on it last night. It's ready to go. And now all I've got to do is get it uploaded and it'll be available on Amazon. What month is this? March the 25th. So the 4 P's and SOAR have come alive visually, in text. You can put it in your hands, and I am, for one, am over the moon. So let me see your comments. I know Kim has to go. Thank you. Let's see. Conchita says, congratulations, Cassandra. What a blessing. Kim says, amazing. Hey, Leah, I didn't even realize you were there, my love. She said, yeah, amazing work, mindset queen. There it is again. Kim says, so proud of you. Martha says, good morning. Congratulations, Cassandra Terry. Thank you, Marcia. There's my mom. Say, good morning, fam. I'm not sure if she was even here for the announcement. Oh, her hands are up, so maybe she was. And then Conchita says, looking forward to reading the rich, powerful gems. And Conchita, I know who you are, even though we've never met in person. You're not going to just read it. You're going to put it into action. And that's what it's all about. If you guys do the work, it is going to work for you and help you propel towards the life, not only that you desire, but that you deserve. And I can't wait to hear all about it. So that's the announcement. So Kim, you're no longer in suspense. I know you've got about 7 minutes before you have to go. Have a wonderful day at work. Before you step out the door, what are the 3 things that you intend to accomplish today, Kim? Maybe it's 1, maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3, depending on how big those items are. But get that clarity for you so that when you close your eyes today, you go, I've had a great day. I intended to get this thing done. It's done, and I can do it again. I can do it all over again tomorrow with the next thing. That's how we get that momentum. And that's what I had to do with the book. It went through so many iterations. It had a completely different name. It was built off a course that I did a long time ago. And through working and just really working with it, it became something completely different. It became what it was supposed to be. And there is no difference in me and each and every one of you, if you're willing to plan and implement your plan, whatever it is that you want to desire, it's within your reach. That much I promise. Conchita says, you know it, Cassandra. I do know it, Conchita. You are just a light and you are a blessing. And I get excited just seeing your name. And I know as soon as it pops up, right after it, I'm going to see the word amazing. Something about an amazing day. And I love getting those comments. All right. So I think we've acknowledged everyone's comments. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate you all so much. My goal is bestseller. I want a bestseller. And maybe that's selfish, but it also means that a lot of people have it in their hands and can take something that's worthwhile and can positively impact their lives. They have it within their reach. So as we start to post about it and put more information about it, please plan to get your copy on the 25th. I think it's the first 24 hours of sales that will determine whether or not a book is a bestseller in its category. And that's my goal. And I need all of you guys to help. I am unashamed to ask for that one. I'm shamelessly plugging and putting it out there, what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. And I hope you guys will. I know you will. I don't hope it. I already appreciate all the support and I appreciate you guys helping me get there. Kim said, I wrote my 3 down as soon as I get to my, I will write my 3 down as soon as I get to my desk. Can't wait to read and use the tools in the new book. Have a great day, all. You too, Kim. Have a wonderful day. Grace says, so happy for you, my friend. Grace, we need to talk. I can't wait to catch up with you. And my mom is clapping her hands and uh, flashing hearts, and she gets some editor credit. She read through the whole thing when she was here, and helped me with some of the little, smoothing it out. If there was something that she read that she couldn't quite grasp, and maybe the way I said it needed a little bit of editing, so she was very helpful in that way. So thank you, mother. All right, Jay, it's over to you, my friend. Please share your thoughts on this Wake Up Wednesday.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what came to mind, I'm going to start out with the Bible verse, and it's
Mhm.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 26. Give careful thought to the paths for your feet, and be steadfast in all your ways.
Mhm.
That's intentionality.
Absolutely.
And it really it's urging people to be steadfast, because of the importance of consistency and commitment to living a purposeful and righteous life. And really, it's suggesting that intentional decision making and steadfastness are really key to living a life that is aligned with wisdom and
Mm,
righteousness. And so, really, it underscores the value of intentional living, and it's urging people to be mindful of their choices and to remain steadfast. I know I said the word over and over again, but it really is. You have to remain steadfast, committed, really, to righteousness and wisdom. And if we look at it from another perspective, uh, about a maybe a spiritual awakening, like B was talking about, it can also serve as the source of encouragement and guidance for people undergoing a spiritual awakening, reminding them to approach their journey with mindfulness,
mhm,
with discernment, and that word again, steadfastness, in their pursuit of spiritual growth and alignment with divine will. That vertical alignment you talk about all the time, Cassandra. Um, and a couple of other things I wanted to talk about, and what I heard earlier. You were talking about stinking laundry. I felt called out.
Uh-oh. Did I step on your toes?
Now I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna blame my kids, um, because this is what used to happen all the time. They would do their laundry, right? They would take it
Mhm.
from the um, they would take it from the washer and put it in the dryer and leave it there, right? And I would be washing, and then I would go to put my laundry from the washer into the dryer, and there'll be clothes already in there.
Already full. Drives me
And I'm
crazy.
like, it does me too. And I'm like, you know what? And I'm like, okay, let me go take care of something first. Let me put the clothes back in, and I go do some other things, and then I go back, and it's 2 hours later, and what happened? It's stinking. Now, a couple of things I could have done, right? Could have taken it out, put it on top of the dryer so I can put my clothes in. Or I could
Mhm.
have gone straight to the kid that did it and said, "Hey, go put that." But in my thinking, I need to go handle this first. Let me go ahead and deal with this mess later, which I shouldn't be dealing with in the first place. It just snowballs.
Mhm.
So rather than waiting for the laundry to stink up, I need to be more steadfast. I need to be more intentional. I need to think about taking it out, addressing the issue with the child, saying, "Hey, don't be doing this again, man. You're messing up my flow. You can't be doing that because when you mess up my flow, I go to work stinking, and I don't like that." so so that's what I was thinking about. The other thing was the implementation,
Hmm.
and so I'm going to give kudos to Conchita and Mama J, because during story time with Jay and friends, um, I was scolded with love,
Hmm.
just like I was yesterday. But we won't get into yesterday. We'll get into Saturday. And what happened on Saturday is, I'm slowly understanding that um that I've been given gifts, you know.
Absolutely.
And everybody, we all are endowed with gifts, right?
Hmm.
Um and mm, I've come into mine recently, right? Understanding it. I've always had it, apparently. But now I'm just recognizing it. And it's through the it really is through the help of others to bring that to me and to give me flowers. Because for all those times before, there's always been these limiting beliefs or these previous experiences where somebody said, "Man, that artwork sucks," or "Man, your writing needs to improve," or you know, "Jay, if you only applied yourself, you could go so far." Right? Hearing those things over and over again over time just kind of wears on you. It's not an
Yeah.
J
excuse. Yes.
FTD.
Right? And I understand. And so these are the things that I was thinking about.
Oh gosh.
So I need to figure out where I need to go. And implementation. It starts with implementation. And lastly, I heard from B another thing. And really what it comes out to is don't compare your day 1 to somebody else's year 20.
Exactly. Exactly.
You just have to take that first step.
Correct. You got it.
And so those were all of the things that came to mind: the Bible verse, the stinking laundry, implementation, and day 1 versus year 20. Thanks, Cassandra.
Awesome. Two quick things and then we'll wrap it up. Well, first, Conchita said, Jay, I see a difference since Saturday. So glad you received all the positive energy poured into you. It was all tough love. And and he does receive tough love well. He does give us the benefit of realizing where it's coming from. So yes, I agree with Conchita. Two things, progress over perfection. Three things. So taking that first step is what you said. That gets you into the progression moving forward. Um, you talked about not comparing someone your day 1 to someone's year 20 or wherever they happen to be in their journey. That's that comparison being the thief of joy. When you find yourself comparing, you're undermining your progress. You're tethering yourself to something that you don't even have all the data about. You have no idea what that person's journey really is. You're seeing the end results of however long they've been working, and you're just trying to get started. So absolutely. And then you said the first thing, implementation. Prior to implementation is the clarity. So make sure you have so many gifts. You're an artist in many, many ways, including the storytelling, the voiceovers, the actual physical art. There's so much that you're capable of doing, and then you have the abilities to do the digital. art that you do, like the background for the morning show, the intro and the extra for the morning show. That's all Jay, guys. So there's a lot of talent there. I'm sure there's some overlap in those talents that come to a thing, a role, a something that you can do, or maybe one of them is nudging you stronger right now than one of the others. But you've got to get quiet with Jay. Go into your secret place. Go into your quiet place, and you and God spend some time visualizing you tomorrow, you in your future, and see what you're doing. What's putting that smile on your face? What's making you enjoy more time with Renee and the grandkids? What are you doing? When you can identify that and you can get that clarity, then some of the other questions will become clearer, and it becomes easier to create the plan on which you will implement. But we don't want to implement for the sake of saying, okay, I'm doing something. Y'all been scolding me. So I'm doing it. What is the it that you should be doing right now? Is it the podcast with the voices? Is it more, putting yourself out there and doing more marketing for business, or, visuals for businesses like what you've done for mine? I don't know the answer to that. And I'm not sure that you do either. But that's the question. And that's going to take some self-reflection, some prayer, some connection inwardly and vertically to get that picture. And then you implement once you know where it is you're going. You've got to get the journey clear. But because there's so many ways that it can go when you have that many talents. The person who is really good at one thing, they have a really clear path and they just need to keep developing that. I think it's easier than when you're so good at a bunch of things, because it's like, okay, what do I do? Oh, I could go do this, and somebody asked me to do that, and you can just be all over the place and doing well at each of those things, but again, not pouring yourself wholly into anything, which keeps you from progressing at the level that you can. So get the clarity first, and then the implementation will be easier because you'll know where it is you're trying to go. Let's see. My mom, Aromatic Vision, says, wow, I got on just in time to hear Jay. I'm on my way from work. First of all, I'm so very proud of myself, daughter. Congratulations. I can't wait for the book. I will definitely be marketing. Open your gifts, Jay. You were so proud of yourself, of myself, daughter. I don't know what that means. What are you proud of yourself for? Or are you, I think what she's saying is she's proud of me for writing the book, but there may be an announcement that she has that I'm missing. So if you got something that we need to be celebrating, add that too to make sure I'm reading your message correctly, mother. If you're not still driving, if you're still driving, that's why it don't make sense. You're trying to do two things, and I want you to be safe. So stop it. She goes, no, you. Okay, I thought that's what you meant. She's the quintessential mother who is always rah 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 excited. So I thought that's what you meant, but I could have missed something. So I just wanted to be clear that we weren't overlooking some of your greatness too, lady. All right, so I think we have done what we came to do, guys. Anything that needs to be said that hasn't been said? Jay, Brian, if you guys have any last minute comments, feel free to drop them in. We'll grab them.
So, one of the things I wanted to share was my dad's feeling a lot better. So
Oh,
thank you.
thank God.
So thank you everybody for the prayers. He's now in his second week of regular dialysis treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we heard from his neighbors in the treatment center, she is 23 years in treatment.
Wow.
And yeah, now it can be, I mean, you know, it literally is a draining experience.
It is.
Literally. Um, but to know that somebody has survived and continues to receive treatment 23 years, it
Mm.
it gives you it gives you hope, right? And I think I think my dad really needed to hear that. So thank you to everybody for the prayers on that and with my dad. Um, he's so excited, and and grateful um, that he wants to pay for my way and my wife's way to come visit him up in Washington. So
Oh,
we're thinking about doing that. He says because his birthday is March 22nd.
okay.
So he's wondering if I can make it since I'm not going to Grenada just yet.
Do it, do it, do it. That's awesome.
Right. So I just wanted to share that with everybody and thank you.
Thank you so much for the update. It's good to know and hear how he's improving. He has definitely been in our prayers. He's even been a part of my dance group at church. And our prayers, both you and him and your entire family, has been lifted up as a part of our group. So it's wonderful to see prayers in action. Brian, anything before we go?
No, it's been a great show. I'm just happy to hear Jay's dad is doing better. Glad to hear you finally finished that book. I say finally. You
Wow.
know, this is why time is really relative, right? Time is not a number, right? I say finally finished it because we've been hearing you talk about. I know me and Jay have, 'cause, Denise has. We've been hearing you talk about the book for a couple of months. We like, wow. When you first started talking about it, you were saying that I don't know if I'm gonna do it right now. And then the next thing you got a whole outline and a few chapters knocked out. Then it kind of, took a backseat to traveling, world traveler. You over in India and whatnot, doing your thing over there. And then, you came back, started back on it, and now it's finished. So when I say finally, that's it's 2 months. So you gotta zoom out. I told somebody that yesterday. I was talking to you about this a couple of days ago. I talked to Jay about it. For 20 years, or for 18 years, I was at like the top of my career. I was at the top of my area for what I did. And then
Mm-hmm.
then the pandemic came and the game changed, right? Money changed. Everything just went catastrophically downward. I'm talking about spiraling, right? And everybody around me was flipping out. They were like, oh man, I can't believe this is happening. Can't believe this is that. I'm like, zoom out, man. Calm down. You're looking at 2 years. I'm looking at 20 years. Two
Right.
on a 20 is not that bad. Two on a two, that's kind of bad. But you
Right.
have to zoom out. This is where people miss the mark. This is where people miss the mark in investing. This is where people miss the mark in investing in themselves and their works, right? When you say to yourself, man, it's taking me forever, that's to you. But if you zoom out and you look at that 20-year career, man, I did that book in no time. Kudos to you, Cassandra.
Thank
Queen.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And my mom said, speak, Mr. Content. And you and Jay and Denise and y'all's consistent showing up and pouring in is greatly appreciated. And all that stuff happened. I was able to participate in all those things that you just talked about because I had a support system in you guys and in my family, and so it's rewarding. I slept really good last night, so I'm like, okay, it's finally happening. And you're right, finally makes it sound like it was so long. It was longer than 2 months, Brian, but
Two
but
months and 2 days does not count. It's 2 months.
but it is an exciting place to be, and I can't wait to see it actually on the shelves. I passed the Barnes and Nobles Saturday before last, and I just had a vision of me walking in the store and seeing my book on the shelf. And I was in tears, and I'm grabbing the book off the shelf and taking a picture of where they are. So Amazon is just the start. I intend to push this thing out to the masses because I believe that it can be that impactful. And so I'm going to need you guys to help me make that dream a reality, and I'm excited about it. So we will take a look. Let's take a look at the quote just one more time because it's just that good. Your days are your life in miniature. As you live your hours, so you create your years. As you live your days, so you craft your life. What you do today is actually creating your future. The words you speak, the thoughts you think, the actions you take are all shaping your destiny. Robin Sharma. Look how much control you have in the journey. The question is, have you grabbed the wheel? Are you driving the car? Because the car is moving, it's going somewhere, and you are firmly planted in it. But if you be mindful of your words, be mindful of your thoughts, take the appropriate actions, you can steer the car to the destination that you would like to arrive at. And that's what Wake Up Wednesday is all about. Being intentional of every thought, being intentional of all of your actions, and making sure that you are pouring in to the activities that are going to get you where it is that you would like to go. So thank you guys for another wonderful show, and for all of your comments and your engagement. It is much appreciated. We are going to wrap it up, and we'll be back here
Thank
tomorrow.
you for joining us today. Make sure you join us every week, Tuesday through Friday, 7:15 a.m. Central Time, for the Cassandra Terry Morning Show. For advertising or sponsorship questions, reach out to Cassandra.
Montita
or
said,
any
Manifesting
member of the
Miracles,
Fam
Cassandra,
Collective
the book
on
will
their
be
LinkedIn
in Barnes & Noble.
profiles.
Yes, it will. Yes, it
Have a
will.
great day, everyone.
Great day, everyone. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.